Hi guys, I hope that you are back as my video stopped. So that's what happens. I think everybody's going live. Everybody's using internet. Welcome back everybody. I won't stay for too long. I want you guys to take some time today to just appreciate the good things you have. I know this holiday is difficult for a lot of people. It's difficult for me as well, in a way of just still digesting everything that had happened this year, and also just reflecting on things. But at the same time, there is always beauty in things, and there is always people to love. And sometimes you have to have your selectiveness or your judgment right. A lot of people who are very accomplished, or different, famous people, models and actors, a lot of times people who have a lot of options, or maybe are very famous or rich, having a lot of problems in a love department, because they never know whether people that reaching out to them and showing that they are in love with them, whether those people are real. And even though we are not celebrities, but a lot of times we have a situation where, maybe you're dating several ladies. Maybe some ladies watching me, maybe you having a lot of admirers, and you have hard time figuring out who is who, which one is real and which one is only playing a game and was a representative. So showing up as a representative. Meanwhile, guys, are you here and can you hear me? I hope that you can. So anyway, I just want to tell you that it's so important to reconnect with you. uh, we talked already about how to make your lady feel special. We already talked about, I made several videos last week. But today, if you are with you, uh, try to consider reconnecting with yourself. In this video, I called a challenge, uh, love letter challenge. So what is a love letter challenge? No, it's not about uh, writing love letters, as we talked about some of those things. um, Thank you, Aaron. Well, it's a love day. Thank you. I'm sure you're looking pretty good too. You gotta have something warm. Well, not you, because you're in California. So, guys, I'm just sharing this thoughts with you. I was thinking today about something, how difficult it is to tell to yourself that you love and accept yourself. It is very difficult. And I think for men, a lot of times it's even harder, because, you kind of like, what kind of man you are if you think about feelings, or you think about self-love. Oh, that's cute. If you share these things, most people will make fun of you. It's definitely not something that you will discuss with your buddies. But what I would like to share with you is that it's a challenge. It's not for posting on Facebook. It's not to impress others, but writing yourself a love letter. And yes, and before you all freak out and think, oh my God, she's going too far today, I want to tell you, imagine that this is not you. You're not writing a letter about you, but you're writing a letter about your quote unquote friend. Why you appreciate that friend, what is special about that friend, and why you want to keep that friend in your life, something like that. So basically, I understand. Even I think for my feminine energy, it would be very difficult to write a love letter to myself, in terms of it just there is something about it that we were all told to sort of, it's not something we were taught in school, especially in my school. Well, yeah, not in post-USSR schools anybody taught us how to connect with self. But we talked about the ladies, we talk about them all the time. Let's talk about self love and love and self. And so, the way to, I believe, the way to write a love letter to yourself is imagining that you're not talking about yourself, but you're talking about a friend. All of you probably have or had a friend that was just that you loved deeply, right? So you describe you, but imagine that you're talking about your friend. You do this anyway. Sometimes I have guys who reach out to me and say, "Well, Veronica, one of my friends, blah, blah, blah." And I know that the person talks about themselves, which is okay. It's easier to, it's almost as if you go out of your body and as a spirit and look at yourself, and what do you see about that man? What do you appreciate about that man? And um, what is great about him? We are so taught to focus on what's wrong with us. I can be fully transparent. Also, I think a lot of us have a way, way, way to go before anybody can call us a narcissist. Because if you have very strict parents, if you grew up in a background, well, I just want to tell you, praising was not the part of post-USSR culture whatsoever. Maybe there were, some parents that praise their kids, but um, uh, it's it must be interesting. I've asked my son yesterday. I asked him, how does it feel? How does it feel when um you feel appreciated and loved and praised basically every day? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. And you know what he told me? He told, "Come on, mom, you're just asking me because you want to know how it feels because you have never had something like that." I was thinking to myself, wow, it's actually true. And it's not just, oh, there is no reason to feel, like, oh, that's so sad. Most kids, most families, most parents keep things to themselves, and they did not do these kind of things. That just wasn't not part of a culture for the most part. So before everyone who had kind of, like a rough start or very humble beginning become a narcissist, it's gonna be a long, long time, right? Guys, are you on the call? I feel like maybe the connection is bad. I'm not sure. Just a minute. Just a minute. Oh wow, I put a filter on. I'm fancy. I've never done this before. Bronson, what's happening with your face? Is my connection bad? I'm all, let's see, blush. Let's try this one. I'm playing with filters. Why? Because I want to. All right. I think I like this one. Okay, guys, how do I come back to this to charts? All right, how do I come back to chats? Okay, I see some of the. I see your new chats. I see them. So anyway, guys, so that is just my message. Trying to connect with you and see those things. What is that? Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you so much. What is that uh, about you? And it's not to brag and it's not to deceive yourself, but honestly, guys, I want to tell you on this day of love that honestly I have negative thoughts in my head. I'm very harshly criticizing myself and I don't even notice it, and I know that it happens to everybody. Sometimes when I get a lot of positive feedback and kind words from people, it's really almost as you get to know yourself again, because you know once again, most of us were not taught to encourage ourselves, to see the good in ourselves. Most of us were taught to see what's wrong and focus on that. And tell me if you can relate to this message. So, and I just want to tell you, when we are learning how to take good care of our thoughts and our thoughts in our head, in our head, uh, any kind of negative things. And if you guys ever dated Russian and Ukrainian lady, you would see that she is very self-conscious, and usually she would be very uh, critical to herself. So what I'm trying to tell, give yourself some unconditional love in terms of, just underlining, what is cool about you. Are you a great decision maker? Are you a person that always uplifting others? Are you the guy that's just great leader? All these kind of things. And it's kind of a homework of self-appreciation. I've learned it from somewhere, and I thought that was really powerful, because for an average person, about 70% of your thoughts are negative and critical. So that's one part. I just want to share this. It's kind of a homework, and I know it's not easy to do, but it's important. It's important to know where your power is, because a lot of times we work on our weaknesses, and we kind of become an average because we're not focusing on what we have that is sort of God's gift, and we try to fit in. And we, for example, when you're trying to be a jack of all trades, uh, you usually do not uh, become really great at something. So that's just a message. So guys, I want to see who is here. I don't know how to see the chat. What happens since I put the filter? But I will see all the new messages, guys. So yeah, I don't have anything uh to anything revolutionary to say. I just want to say that I was thinking about my channel. I want to just once again to tell you that love is always great, and but everything starts with a feeling of fulfillment with you. One of the reasons why many people jump from one relationship to another, having all this, multiple connection, not even connections, but just chaotic relationships with people. It's because you were underloved. And I know there's probably not a term like this, but you were underloved, quote unquote, and you try to get this from other people, and you get from one mess to another mess. And people who cheat in relationships did not have enough of love and do not understand what it really is. People who have a lot of chaotic, I don't know, just kind of just every week they have another girlfriend or boyfriend. It's a lot of trouble comes from the lack of that confidence that comes within. And that's why I was recommending doing the homework and writing these things that you appreciate about your quote unquote friend, which is true, because you are your best friend. You are the person that you will have eternal relationship with, and you are the person that you're gonna be with all your life. It's your longest relationship. I also don't believe that happiness comes from another person. Somebody told me recently something like, "Oh, Veronica, it's like you're gonna be happy one day. Like, don't worry." And I was thinking to myself, what makes you think that I am not happy? What exactly give you that thought? A lot of people, because they're so incomplete inside of them, they think that other people also get completion from somebody else. I totally agree that when you have a special person in your life, that person does enhance your life. It adds to your life. It's, like I put a filter right now. It enhances the colors, so it's kind of fun to see. That what love is doing for you when you have not just self-love, but you have a good partner, a good lover, a good mate, a wife or a husband, somebody that you're really close to. It does just exactly what the filter just is. It enhances the colors, but you had those colors originally. They just got enhanced. So that's it. But if your colors are dull, and if they are pale, or they are not the good colors you want to see, the enhancing of them gonna be misery. For example, I do like black and white photography, but if I would be sitting in gray, you would be seeing just enhanced gray. So yes, it's just some of the thoughts like this I want to share with you today. And another very important thing is about being truly open with people. It takes, sometimes we try to impress people about something or make things up, but when you do that, you face like more, you face real loneliness. When you try to please people and tell people what they want to hear, you face real loneliness whether you are in relationship or not, because you can't really truly share. So when the door is 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 closed, you realize that you don't have a single person you are close with. So that's why I think self-love is also courage to be real with people. Yes, you might not want to talk about certain things. You don't have to always mentally strip the clothes of yourself, like we have physical when you can go and see a performance. You don't have to strip your soul before everybody. You can just say, I don't really want to talk about this, or I'm not that close with you to share my heart with you. But it doesn't it's so important to be able to be you, because it just gives you the comfort of being in your skin. It's just really most amazing thing when you feel comfortable. Often we fall in love with people, not the most beautiful people, not the most talented people, not the most, whatever, mm, whatever artificial qualities are, but we often fall in love with people who are very comfortable with themselves. It's very easy to love somebody who loves themselves, who respect themselves, who just have that vibe. There are some people in life that you talk to them and you feel like you're drinking, like, well, for me it would be some hot delicious tea, and it kind of goes through your entire body. There are some people like that who just make you feel this way. And we catching up on people's true emotions, and some people just relax you and they're like the best medicine. But these are people who are really in connecting with who they are. They don't have to play a role. And that's, one thing I also love about journaling is that when you journal, you can be completely real. You can go deep in your thoughts, and you don't look for likes or approvals, or it's just an incredible work that you can do for yourself. Actually have a couple clients with who we are doing the guided journaling, the guided journaling, because sometimes it's too scary to start writing something. But I just really thank you guys for the kind words, but I just really think it's healing and beautiful. And sometimes it's kind of like guiding meditation. We do guiding meditation, and we do um, guided meditation and guided journaling. So for those of you on my Patreon, I will just share a few things that I do. And it's, I might have some of it in open, So you can just, look it up. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, I'm gonna stop right now. I'm gonna check time. If I still have a minute, I wanted to make a video on a slightly different topic. But thank you so very much for being here. And I tried to mention this in my first video. I was trying to say that to express my gratitude and how much I appreciate your loyalty and support and trust. There are so many people you can be watching and listening and supporting. Uh, that's beauty of this life, to have variety, to have choices. And each time you choose me, each time you choose to subscribe, or you support my channel, or you or order my services or subscribe for more things to learn, it just really honors me. It's not just that moment of oh my gosh, that's great, I'm growing, but it's just really, in this world when you can choose anybody and anything, each time somebody, buys some, I have an online shop, so each time somebody buys something in my shop, I feel this deep level of appreciation, because there are hundreds of thousands of other people, and some of them are in some ways better, um, or cheaper or whatever, but that person chose that, and same as goes for you guys. So I just want to tell how much I appreciate you, for, especially for those of you who sticking with me for a long time. Of course, uh, uh, new people are very welcome, and I'm excited about this. But I feel that those who, it's kind of difficult to be with one blogger for a long time, because I feel that it's kind of, it might feel like, boy, this is gets old. So I'm not having any special effects, except for the color pop today. So, anyway, I just want to send you some love. I just want you to remind you that love starts with you. Good choices in life starts with you. Um, every good loving relationship is based on self-love, and I hope that you won't wait for another person to fix your life, but you start with you. Let love surprise you. You really don't know. And when you look at things at retrospective, you truly understand why something did not work with that person, or why something ended. You really understand why, because in retrospective, everything makes sense, and you are grateful for certain things that maybe were not so good for you. So guys, I do have a few more minutes, so I'm gonna log out and log in. I have a topic I want to talk about today that is, I think, kind of interesting. So thank you guys. I'm gonna try to log in again. uh oh, thank you, John. Thank you so much. John is saying it never gets old, Veronica, listening to you. I simplified it, but thank you, John, and everybody else. Thank you, guys. I will see you in a minute.